All right, we back, y'all.
Yes, sir. What's good?
All right, like I said, we're going to go ahead and get into another team with a rising superstar, and that's Zion and the New Orleans Pelicans. You know, they came in with the easiest schedule in the bubble and still were not able to make that push to make the playoffs. So how do you think, the league feels about this, and how do you feel about it?
Well, for the league, I don't think they care that much. I don't think they care that much due to the fact that you feel like that they're trying to push Zion, and I'm not against you in that.
They are,
but I don't think that the league is hurting due to the fact that the games are so good. The games have, been looking good. The NBA and on the bigger side of things have just been portrayed very well, all done in the bubble. So having Zion and put him in that first round and having to play against LeBron and all of that, I don't think is going to necessarily hurt the NBA. I don't think Adam Silver is like, I wish we got. I mean, maybe he is like, I wish we got him in, but with what he has in the playoffs and everything, I think it's fine. Me personally, I sort of wish they made it, but not for Zion's sake. I'm sort of happy that Zion didn't make it due to the fact that he was going to be on a minutes restriction, all of that, and it just it wasn't going to be good regardless. They were going to be kicked out in the first round. You would have gotten to see play against LeBron for a few games, but not big minutes, I don't believe. But I do wish that his team made it because I wanted to see Zoe in the playoffs for the first time. I wanted to see B.I. in the playoffs, my most improved player, and I also wanted to see JJ Redick make it for his record time and being 13. I believe it'd be 13 times of him going to the playoffs consistently with every team that he's been on. So this is the first time he's missed. Sort of sad. That's who I really wanted to go. So I was really cheering for JJ because I wanted him to make it, but he didn't make it. But every other year he's made it. He didn't miss.
Really quick, my opinion on it is I think the league is mad. I think Adam Silver was ready for that huge, LeBron versus Zion, like Michael versus Larry type thing. And even though they knew, in both situations that the younger pup was going to get eliminated, they just wanted that matchup for pure ratings purposes, for nostalgia. But they're not going to get that, and I think that's a good thing for Zion and his legacy in a way, because I think you don't want it to seem like the NBA has coddled him his whole time in the league. But for me, no love lost. I am not hurt by the Pelicans not being in the playoffs. And, I'm excited to see, I think it's going to be Dame in the playoffs. We'll get to that a little bit later. But, I just, I'm excited to see those matchups because the games, like you said, have been great. And they've been on point. But moving on to another team that we're not going to get to see in the playoffs. And this team, I'm actually upset did not make it. And that's the Phoenix Suns, man. They came in the bubble, showed out beyond everybody's expectations.
Yes, sir.
And, went 8-0 in the bubble, but still their fate was not in their hands. And they couldn't even make the play-in game for the tournament. So what were your thoughts on this team and just not being able to see them in this bubble playoff scenario?
This team actually hurt me a little bit more than the Pelicans did. Just because they came in, they did everything that they could in their power, won all 8 of their games, came through and, scorched a couple teams and blew them out, and they still couldn't make playoffs. Sort of sad. But with everything that they did do, the fact that they are now sort of, going home, they can take all of this momentum that they started in the bubble and bring it into next season. They're a young team with a great young superstar in Devin Booker, and their whole team's young. And so when they grow up, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. And I feel like you're starting right now. The wheels are moving. They just got to get a few more people. They're going to be in the lottery, like you said earlier. They're going to be in the lottery. So they're going to get another young player that's going to help them keep this momentum, keep the ball rolling, man. DeAndre Ayton, hell, he was mic'd up in their last game. He said, this is not the end, man. This is just the beginning. Y'all watch out for next year. And I agree with them wholeheartedly, man. I can't wait for next year.
Yeah, same thing. Like we were just saying, they have a lottery pick, so depending on who they can get another young pup to, just help out Booker and Ayton and, push this young core and possibly make a playoff run next year. So this team looked great. It's sad that we're not going to see them in the playoffs. I wish we got to see the play-in extended a little bit, maybe, let them play, either the Grizzlies or the Trailblazers. The winner play the higher seed. But I don't think the NBA was prepared for that. But
look, there's one thing for sure and two things for certain. The NBA was not prepared for two things. They were not prepared for your 12th seed to come up and be in competition for the A seed, and they were not prepared for a team that went to the bubble to fall under a team that was not at the bubble. They were not prepared. They were not prepared for either one of those two things to happen.
The Wizards should not have been there.
No,
but other than that, like you were just saying as well, though, that Phoenix team is looking good for the future, and I think Booker needs to be there, as the guy that's going to lead that team as that number one option. But there is a person out there that thinks he shouldn't be in Phoenix anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know you. Okay.
And he wants him on his team, I believe.
Yeah.
And that person is Draymond Green, who got fined for tampering while on NBA on TNT.
Yeah, man. I enjoyed that though. I mean, the whole situation of him being like, he should get out of there. And for Ernie to be like, "Are you tampering?" And maybe, I don't know. That whole situation was great. I enjoyed it. I don't feel like he should have been fined, but if he would have been like, no, I don't think he would have been fined.
Yeah,
but I sort of agree with him.
Yeah, I do not want to see him on that Golden State team, but I did think that whole episode was just hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey, Draymond's good TV, man.
Yeah.
And especially when him and Chuck, go at it a little bit, and they got their own little beef. But let's talk about another little beef in the NBA real quick. And we're going to talk about TJ Warren and Jimmy Butler.
Yes,
because
sir.
we know that they went at it earlier, even before the bubble started. And they just met up again. TJ Warren last week was our surprise player after putting up so many points in his first couple of games. But something different happened when he met Jimmy Buckets in that game. Go ahead, tell the people what happened to TJ Warren and your thoughts on it.
All right, man. So I don't know if it was like TJ just sort of lost his boost, his 2K boost.
They ran out.
Or if they ran out, or if just Jimmy just came and took him from him. But he's, like you said, he's been lighting it up. But when he played the Heat, he only put up 12 points. I don't know if that has to do, like I said, losing the boost, or if Jimmy was playing tough defense on him or what. But the Heat somehow knocked him out.
Sure did.
This whole little beef that Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren have going on is great though. Like it's fantastic. Just like the PG and Dame thing, bro. It's all great competition. I bet like they're not really, too mad at each other outside of the court.
Nah.
But they're just competitors. And I love to see that. I love to see it more and more.
You love to see it, man. That beef, like you were just saying, it's fun to watch. It gives you a storyline that goes into the game that makes you, anticipate a little bit more. And that's a matchup that we're gonna, get to see in the playoffs more than likely. So, man, it's just, I can't wait.
Me neither. Bro.
I can't wait because seeing those two go at it, it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on from that, we're gonna go ahead and end this segment, and we're gonna get into what we have next. Like last week, our primetime predictions. This week it's not primetime games, but we're gonna predict who we think our winners for the first round matchups of the playoffs are gonna be. So he's gonna read them off. I'm gonna tell you who I think is gonna win these series. Let's hit it.
All right, you guys. We're gonna start in the Eastern Conference, man. First team is Milwaukee and Orlando. Who do you got? How many games? Why?
Yep, I got Milwaukee in 4 games. I just don't think the Magic have the matchups for Giannis and Middleton. Giannis is not going to be suspended for the playoff game, but he will be playing, and they're going to sweep.
Okay. Toronto Raptors, Brooklyn Nets. Who you got?
All right. I have the Raptors, but I have the Raptors in 6. I like the Raptors. They're a great team, but the Brooklyn Nets have been out here surprising people. They were like 4-2, 4-3 in the bubble. Won more games than people expected with this wonky lineup. So I think they give some teams some trouble.
Won more games than I expected for sure. Boston Celtics 76ers. Who you got?
Yep, I got the Celtics in 5-6. Mostly because missing Ben Simmons is gonna hurt them. That's their primary ball handler, and they're gonna have to reconfigure that whole offense without him, controlling the ball for majority of the game.
Yeah, when you got a 3-year, 7'10" point guard that says that he's a rookie, and that's your major, point guard, bro. Like, it hurts when he's not there. So, hey, come on, bro. But Miami Heat and Indiana Pacers. Who you got?
All right, so I got the Heat coming out. I'm a Heat guy, but I think I got them coming out in 6 or 7. I think T.J. Warren and the Pacers, T.J. Warren, Oladipo, Brogdon, those guys are going to come and produce, and they're going to be able to win a couple of games against those young guys on the Heat roster.
Okay. Now that was the Eastern Conference. Now we're getting into the Western Conference. Western Conference is a little bit askew because we don't really know who is that AC yet.
Yep.
It's going to be determined tonight. But since we don't know, we're going to give you both other options. So Los Angeles Lakers versus Portland Trailblazers first.
Okay, versus the Trailblazers, I got the Lakers winning it, but I got them winning in 6. I don't think they can sweep that team. I mean, Trailblazers, even though they don't have the matchups for Bron or really AD, I think Dame shooting is going to get them 2 games.
Yeah.
The Lakers haven't been defending the perimeter well, and I mean, he's Dame Dollar, so he's not going to get swept.
They missing Avery Bradley heavy out there in LA for the Lakers, man. So the next one, Los Angeles Lakers versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Who you got?
Yeah, I got the Lakers in a sweep or a gentleman sweep.
Okay.
They just don't have the matchups for the Lakers. They don't have the star power, and with Jaren Jackson gone, who's going to check AD?
Fair.
Ja's going to try. He's going to go out there and put up some numbers, but I don't think it'll be enough to get past the Lakers.
All right. For your second seed, you got the Los Angeles Clippers going up against the Dallas Mavericks. Who do you have?
Yeah, I got the Clippers in probably 5 or 6. Luka's great. Porzingis has been playing well, but that's not great matchups for them, especially not for Luka with Pat Bev and Kawhi and Paul George switching off on him. So I think you'll only be able to get you 1 or 2 games.
Okay. Luka's been a monster, though.
Yeah,
in the bubble especially. Next one, Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz. Who you got?
All right. In this one, I think it's a pretty even matchup, but I got the Denver Nuggets pulling out in 6. Okay. I think Jokic is going to probably get Gobert into some foul trouble a lot in those games, as we saw in one of their earlier games.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be able to take over late in games, and that's what's going to be the driving factor for them.
Okay. Michael Porter Jr., you are going to be an X factor in this game, in this whole series. So you got to come through. I'm a big fan of you, man. I want you to be good. Just be good. Okay. The next one, the last one, Houston Rockets versus OKC Thunder. Now remember that Russell Westbrook will not be starting in this. He has a strain in his thighs, I believe, or quad strain.
So that's part of the reason I have OKC winning this series in 6. These Thunder they're a slept on team, and I think that Chris Paul is going to come out with a vengeance, especially against his old team. And those young pups, they've been playing well, and that's a really solid, well-run team for the Thunder. So I think they upset Harden and the Rockets in 6.
Okay, you got OKC coming in with the Thunder.
All right, goodness. Okay, that's gonna call it for this episode, y'all. When we get back, we're gonna talk about some NFL news.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna talk about Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has come out and put a statement out this past week, so we're gonna give our thoughts on it.
See y'all there, man.
See y'all.
Peace.